Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Different Point of View. I'm Konate, your host, and without further ado, let's get into today's topic. So, I want to talk about racism in the Star Wars universe. And if there's one place that is supposed to represent the epitome of tolerance and acceptance, it should be the Star Wars universe. I mean, you have green people, you have orange people, you have yellow people. I mean, literally, those are the colors that they have. And you choose to be racist against a black woman. Wow. So for those of you who are not big followers of Star Wars, you have a series called Obi-Wan, and it really gets into the 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, in which Anakin becomes Darth Vader. And you have a character, Reva, and Reva is an inquisitor whose job it is to go out and seek and destroy and kill Jedis, and she's a third sister. And she is a black woman, and she's a villain, and she has received a tons of hate mail and racist comments. Actually, let me just go to the video because the video explains it better than I can.
Right now, when it comes to the franchise, it is busy defending one of its actors in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi film. And in the series, well, what we have is a black woman who's been brought in, and of course, it brought the racist out. On Monday, actress Moses Ingram shared screenshots from the hundreds of racist and hurtful messages that she received for her role in a series of Instagram stories. Here are some of those messages here. Your days are numbered. You're not the first N-word in Star Wars, fool. You sucker loser. You're a diversity hire. You won't be loved or remembered for this acting role. These flood of hate that comes in a fictional storyline. We've seen this way too many times where white people get all up in arms when there are individuals who are cast and they are of color and they're taking on roles in these major blockbusters. It's ridiculous. And Ingram, she spoke out about these messages recently.
Long story short, there are hundreds of those, hundreds. But I think the thing that bothers me is that, like, sort of this feeling that I've had inside of myself, which no one has told me, but this feeling of like, I just gotta shut up and take it. You know, I just kind of gotta bear it. And I'm not built like that. So I really just wanted to come on, I think, and say thank you to the people who show up for me in the comments and the places that I'm not gonna put myself. And to the rest of y'all weird.
She's absolutely right. You all are weird and racist. Like, it's just, I can't even help you. But one thing I can do is thank her co-stars for stepping up and stepping in. Ewan McGregor, he would end up coming to her defense in this video. Check this out.
It seems that some of the fan base from this influential fan base have decided to attack Moses Ingram online and send her the most horrendous racist DMs. And I heard some of them this morning and it just broke my heart. Moses is a brilliant actor. She's a brilliant woman. And she's absolutely amazing in this series. She brings so much to the series. She brings so much to the franchise. And it just sickened me to my stomach to hear that this had been happening. I just want to say, as the leading actor in the series, as the executive producer on the series, that we stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world. And I totally stand with Moses.
Yes, and Moses shouldn't stand alone, and I'm glad that she's not. Another co-star, O'Shea Jackson, would tweet, probably kills them that James Earl Jones is Darth Vader. They're gonna love finding out what my character does. Also, Disney Lucasfilm stepped up, tweeting about how they are so proud to have Ingram be part of this film series. And the reality is that too often do Black women and people of color, and particularly women of color, face this kind of just racist, sexist outbursts and just cries and disputes from individuals who feel that they shouldn't be there. And yet oftentimes these people will say they're not racist, they're not sexist, but clearly they are showing us that that is not the case.
So let's just say that you are absolutely committed to being a racist. There are far better candidates than a black woman. I mean, you have aliens to be racist against. You have just things to be racist against. You have robots to be racist against. You have a big, hairy Bigfoot to be racist against. You have frog-looking people to be racist against. I mean, then you have a big slug slash toad slash snail thing to be racist against. Now, if I'm going to be racist, if anybody deserves to be racist against, that's Jabba the Hutt. I mean, how could you not be racist against Jabba the Hutt? But out of all of these things to be racist against, you choose a black woman. And I just have to wonder why, and there's a reason why I'm particularly discussing black women, because Star Wars has been a little bit more friendly to black men. I have to just call it out. I have to say what it is. I haven't heard of Lando Calrissian facing a lot of racism. I haven't heard of Mace Windu, who played by Samuel Jackson. I haven't heard of him facing a lot of racism. My understanding is that these people were actually pretty well received. So that's why I'm pointing out black women. The other reason why I'm pointing out black women, because I have not seen, she is the first black woman that I'm seeing play a major role in either the prequel, the sequel, or any of the side stories when it comes to Star Wars. This is the first really memorable black woman. So Disney, or should I say Star Wars in the past, has not been very friendly towards black women. Now, don't get me wrong. Criticizing her character is not racist. But when you start calling her the N-word, you start using racist slurs, that's when it becomes racist. Because quite frankly, I don't think her character is particularly well written either. I mean, she just seems overzealous and angry for no doggone reason at all. Because the way they've written her, the way they wrote her character, there's no context to her. So because there's no context to her, in a lot of ways, she's kind of just there, kind of just taking up space. Now, she has an amazing presence, and she's delivering the lines as best as she could. But I just don't think the writing is very good for her. I mean, we're 4 episodes in, and we really don't get this character. Now, yes, I get it. She wants to impress Darth Vader, and she wants to be the top dog inquisitor, but that's not, and I get an ambitious energy, but the energy that I'm getting for her is personal and deep, and they're not explaining it. And for me, that is a problem. The other thing about it is that she seems impetuous at times. Like, you just kill a Grand Inquisitor and there's no consequences for that. You constantly disobey orders. There's just so much to her character that they're just not explaining, that just goes unsaid, undealt with. And I think Star Wars or Disney, they're just not keeping up to her full potential. But that's not racist. Now, there is a situation with John Boyega, and John plays Finn in a lot of the prequels. And John has made criticism that they didn't write his character very well. They didn't give him enough depth to his character. They really did the writing more towards Rey. But I mean, she's the whole thing. She's the star of the show. You're not gonna really get a lot of writing, and I'm not going to necessarily say that that's racist. I mean, it could be, but I'm not going to say necessarily that's racist. I mean, hey, I personally didn't find his character to be very entertaining. You're a stormtrooper and now you're with the Alliance. I particularly didn't really care for his character either. I mean, if I'm just being honest with you. Now, I heard that in certain countries, because they're so racist against black people, they took him out of all the advertisements. Well, now that's racist, but have I heard about them calling him the N-word or really using any real deep racial slurs? No, I'm not saying that it hasn't happened, but these are not things that I've heard about. A lot of the racist complaints have been because they didn't feel that they did him justice as far as writing and character and scripting goes. So, those are my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please support the merch, Mental Slavery. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of A Different Point of View. I'm Konate, your host. Peace.